Hey everybody, so for today's video I wanted to do something I really haven't done before. It's kind of a video idea I've had fairly recently. So as most of you probably know, I used to have a YouTube channel with some friends and we called it The Foam Fighters. And on that YouTube channel we made, and I say this hesitantly, short films. Just, little skits and stuff we did, and made a bunch of them and had a good time doing it. And while some of them, aren't too bad, some of them are downright awful. So I thought it'd be fun to just go through all of them and rank every Foam Fighter short that we ever made and rank them from the worst to the best, because why not, So that's what we're going to do today. I think I had, let me double check, I've ranked a total of 33 videos on this little list, I guess you could say, I'm calling it. And this is also including videos from We Sold This Camera, which is Andre's channel he had, which is kind of like the adjacent channel for the Foam Fighters. I'm including the 3 videos on there, as well as some old and honestly very terrible shorts that were on our previous channel, Oops Did We Go Too Far, which featured guys like me and Sean and Josh and stuff. So we're including some of those that you may not have even seen, and for good reason. A lot of them are really, really bad. And that's another thing I want to preface with this too. I'm just having fun here. I'm going to be critiquing a lot, and not just, everybody else, but myself. I have just as much to criticize myself as anything else in these videos. So, it's just for fun to kind of look back at, some fond memories and just have a good laugh. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Like I said, 33 videos. We're going to start with the worst and go to like the best pretty much. So let's get into it. So I made 4 tiers for these videos, and the first tier we're going to go over, I call it the horrendous tier. It's basically videos that are so awful and just terrible. So coming in at the number 33 spot is a video that you've probably not seen, and for very good reason. It's a Beach House Haunting, the horror spoof part 2. This was uploaded on the Oops Did We Go Too Far channel, and for long-time viewers of the channel, you may be saying, well, isn't there already a Beach House Haunting on Foam Fighters? And yes, there is. We'll begin to that one soon enough, I'm sure. This was basically a Beach House Haunting was basically a remake of this idea we had before, and this is like the part 2 to the video we made. And I'm not gonna go over the story because it's awful. This video is borderline unwatchable, not good. Not funny, it's not interesting in any kind of way. There's really 0 redeeming quality. This is a horrible video. It's literally me holding a camera and having to talk to it in this dumbass voice we did, and it's really, really bad. It's horribly lit. Some of the scenes are so dark you don't know what's happening. It's so bad. This is a horrendously made video. The fact that we made this and uploaded it to YouTube is honestly a crime. It's awful. So bad. Don't even go watch it. It's just bad. It's just bad. Not funny, not entertaining. It's horrible. Please don't. I'm not leaving a video link to anything because one, I'm too lazy, and another one is because some of these are terrible, and this is a prime example of it. This video sucks. It's awful. Horrible. Number 33, so bad. And if you couldn't tell already, this video is for the most part unscripted. I made a few notes for each video, but everything I'm saying right now is like off the top of my head because, I'm just having fun. But coming in at the number 32nd spot is the part 1 to the Beach House Haunting horror spoof thing we made, which was also uploaded on the the Oops Did We Go Too Far channel. And this one is like a teensy weensy better than the second one, because it's like, instead of being 100% unwatchable, this one's like 90% unwatchable. The reason why this one maybe has like a bump above it is because James actually has some kind of decent parts in this video. This video also bad, not funny. There's some scenes where we just have put on the camera and just talked, and it goes on for like 3 or 4 minutes straight with like no cuts, and it's so bad. Literally half the video is just us playing Mortal Kombat and making really bad comments. Like I said, scenes are way too dragged out. The premise for this video concept we did was stupid and dumb and not good. The effects are super cheesy, and like the audio balancing for the effects is so bad. Like, the effects are so loud compared to the video audio and stuff. It's just awful, man. it's amazing again that we uploaded this and thought it would be somewhat decent. I mean, the funniest part of this video is like there's like a ghost cam on the side and the text doesn't even line up. It's so bad. And another thing that's so funny about this video was the reason we had to make a part 2 was because we didn't finish the part 1 at the beach house. And you can tell at the end of part 1, literally it just ends so abruptly because we just stopped filming. Like, it's so dumb. God, it's so bad. It's hilarious. It's awful. Number 32, Beach House Haunting Horror Spoof Part 1. Yeah, it sucks. So coming in at the number 31 spot is actually the first video y'all probably seen so far. It's Satan's Special People short film, uploaded on the Foam Fighters channel, and this video, again, it's in the horrendous tier for a reason. It's bad. There's no real direction. You can tell we kind of just made it up as we went along. Like, you can really tell it was done on the fly. And it's so half-assed too. Like, it's just bad camera work and just random shit thrown together. Like, the sound and the like I said, the sound and the camera work is just terrible. Like, just thinking about this video, it's like, why do we make this? It's not funny. It's really bad. Yeah, it's bad. There's nothing else really to say besides it's just not good. It's just thrown together and like not in a good kind of way. Like, usually when we throw things together in the moment, sometimes it can kind of work out. This is a prime example of it doesn't work out. This video is horrendous and deserves this spot at number 31. So coming in for this number 30 spot, we have the very first video we ever made, which was the Nerf War. Originally uploaded on the Oops So You Go Too Far channel, but was re-uploaded onto the Foam Fighters channel. I say this thing with a lot of the old videos is they actually were made for a different channel, and then they got re-uploaded all for the Foam Fighters. So, you know, the first video, it doesn't age well at all, of course, but I mean, that's a given. I want to give it a slight pass because, you know, it's the first video. We're still figuring things out. I mean, it's bad camera work. I mean, you can hear like giggling behind the camera when people are like recording and stuff, and the editing's really bad. But there's a slight charm to it for being the first one we ever made. And, you know, an effort was definitely made with it. There's some decent ideas. You know, the thing that I found with a lot of these videos is there were some good ideas we had, just the execution of some of them were just, it wasn't there. But this one, like I said, has some decent ideas. I like the shot of when Austin was looking down the sniper scope. We had the shot of, you know, it being in the scope. That was, like I said, a good idea. In execution, it was kind of mid. But I like that we had those kind of ideas even in the beginning. You know, like the fight with me and Austin next to the pool. You know, if it was choreographed a little better and a little better editing, it could have been a decent watch. But, you know, it's still horrendous. I mean, objectively, if we're talking objectively, it's really bad. But I give it a slight pass. Oh hey, it's Future Stone editing the video right now. Another thing I wanted to add that I wanted to mention for the Nerf War video, the very first one we made, is just off of that video, me and Sean had written a 100+ script for a whole series that we wrote out was gonna make, and it all spawned from that very first video. I don't know if it'll ever show it me one day. I'll make a video going through, but yeah, we made a whole script with like a plot and like characters and fight scenes, all from that dumb little video. So I wanted to mention it because it's really funny, but yeah, just want to throw it in there. So anyway, back to the video. So coming in at our number 29 spot, we have a video just called Zombie Short. It was another video, once again, made right off the top of our heads. It's very simple. It's just like a zombie fighting a zombie video. It's whatever. It's not very good, but I think the reason why I don't have it any lower per se is because you kind of can't take it too seriously, you know what I mean? We kind of just put up a camera and just start. I think this was actually a test video we made for the GoPro, not the GoPro, I'm sorry, the iPhone like slow motion feature they added. I believe that was why we made this video, because we were testing that out and we kind of just threw it up because why not? So I think that kind of setup is like, okay, you really can't take it too seriously. It's kind of whatever. And I think it's bad, but it's not like offensively bad. You know what I mean? It's just a whatever video. Like, there's not much to say about it. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's there. You know, not very good, but yeah, it's there. So that's it. Number 29, zombie short. So coming in at the number 28 spot, we have the Nerf War prequel, The Vibrator. This was another thing we filmed while at the beach house while on vacation, and this one you can really see how our naive filmmaking really in full effect. I mean, the editing this is really bad. A lot of scenes just cut off like random voice parts abruptly for some reason. I don't know if it's because we stopped it too early or we did an editing, but either way it's bad. Not great jokes much at all. The really cheesy sound effects are, of course, you know, very, very loud compared to the rest of the audio. And this is another one of those things where it had like one or two okay ideas. I mean, the sequence of like with the me slamming Sean's face into the glass thing or whatever. I mean, that was a good idea we had. But it's just, again, like, and then some of the combat was like in theory like had an okay idea, but it's just an execution. It just didn't turn out the way like we really wanted it to. But at the time we were like, it looks fine, whatever, fuck it. And obviously that's not the case. But yeah, the jokes just aren't very good. And also, just a side note, I don't know what I was wearing in this video. I don't know why I decided like, oh yeah, I'll wear all white for my outfit today. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. But number 28, the Nerf War prequel, not great. And coming in at number 27 spot is the video that kickstarted this whole thing off. It's the 20 things you should never do in a Nerf War video. This video of all of them is the one that blew up the channel, and in some ways you kind of wish it didn't, because it's really, really not good. God, we just made these like really edgy jokes to try to be funny, and it just doesn't work. Like, I remember how many comments we got about, oh, this is racist and everything and stuff like that. And I don't think it was racist per se. It was just, you know, trying to be edgy, and the bottom line was it just wasn't funny to begin with. So there's like one or two okay segments, but like a lot of these are just lazy. A lot of the segments we had were just, oh, me jumping up on a fence and Sean kills me, or, you know, like turning around and shooting Sean because he had a loud gun. Like, it's just kind of lazy. A lot of them are. Some of them had a good idea. I can't even think of one that was even decent, but there was, like, you could tell, like, once Josh came in, we kind of, like, expanded out a little bit. Like, I think the one, I don't know, the one where he was going up the steps had, like, had some thought into it, I guess, you know what I mean? But the editing of this is just really, it's not horrible compared to what we've seen so far, but it's still not good. We were still finding our way with just how to put the videos together, and like I said, for the most part, this video is just really underwhelming and not good. To have 20 different ideas and to have pretty much all of them be very mid. Actually, I will say there was one part that was fun, unintentionally funny. It's when Sean popped out of the the plastic garbage thing to kill me, and he fell. Like, that was legitimately funny and completely unintentional. So obviously the most funniest parts of these videos weren't even our ideas to begin with. Yeah, that's it. 20 things. Number 27. It's horrendous. There's not much more to say. I mean, there should be more to say. This video got over 2 million views. Yeah, looking back on it, it probably shouldn't have. But hey, I'll take it. I mean, I can say I had a video of 2 million views. Granted, I'll never show it to anybody, but you know, I mean, I can't show it to anybody now. Well, I can and I can't. I still had the video, but it's not on YouTube, so you know. So at number 26, again, another old video. A lot of our old stuff isn't very good. Is the face-off, Stone vs. Josh. This video, when it was still public on YouTube, the like to dislike ratio on it wasn't actually too bad. I got a fair amount of likes and not too many dislikes, but again, I don't know why. This video's not very good. Didn't age well. The biggest thing that got me with this video was it's mainly almost towards the end. The scenes would drag for way too long, and scenes that should have been cut 30 seconds earlier, we just kept rolling and kept doing stuff and just kept it, and we really shouldn't have. Also, the ending of this video is extremely abrupt and bad, and literally, of course, it's because during the scene, Josh's mom got there to pick him up to go home, so we just had to end the video there. Like, it's another thing where it's like, just stupid stuff we just had to make up with as we went along. Some stuff's okay, like I think the scene when near the beginning when I like jumped up onto the power thing, and like we had like a little segment, me and Josh, with like the gun and everything. Like, again, in theory, wasn't bad. Could have been better, but you know, at least an effort was made. This video is it should have been like 3 or 4 minutes like shorter. Like a lot of like the jokes we made in the beginning of it weren't very good, and some of the sequences and shots just look mediocre, which again, we were still young, but it's just like, I mean, it is what it is. It's not very good. And that's really all I have to say about it. I think the funniest part of this video is literally just me, not me, Sean coming out of me and us trying to make it look like he like came in my body somehow. No idea why we did that. It looked horrible, but it was hilarious in all the wrong ways. Yeah, that's the video. It's in the horrendous tier for a reason. So now we are moving on to what I would consider to be just the bad tier. I mean, videos that they're not horrendous, but they're still, I would consider bad. And at number 25, we have the other original Face-Off video, the Face-Off Nick versus the Martian. This one I don't think is horrendous, simply because I think there was actually some decent ideas that didn't look too bad. Like some of the combat sequences between Nick and Austin actually turned out pretty okay. But I think the thing that really hurts this one was just the lack of special effects that we just didn't know how to do, you know what I mean? I said it because like when Nick does his teleportation stuff, it kind of just happens, you know what I mean? There's no like flash or whisk or something. Or even when the funniest thing I think is when Nick goes Power Ranger and he just puts on the suit, like it just cuts him up with the suit. Like I think that this video just had like some okay effects to it. It would have been fine. I think Nick and Austin are both very good, I'll say physical actors, and I say that because when it's like combative stuff, I feel like they do a pretty good job, both of them respectively, throughout the times we did the videos. And this one's really simple. This was what the face-off with me and Josh should have been. It's just short, simple, fight, a little bit of like dialogue, jokey kind of stuff, and go along with it. I think the worst part is when I had to like at the end do some kind of monologue to like introduce what would have been the next video, which was me and Nick would have had a face-off, which I remember we had scripted out but never recorded it. So yeah, this one's like, it's still, I would say, bad, but it's not horrendous. It has some okay ideas. It would just need some effects and it would be just fine. But yeah, at number 25, the face-off, Nick versus the Martian. At number 24, we have the Nerf War prequel, The Vibrator Part 2, the sequel to the first Vibrator episode, and I can't believe I'm saying that in like a honest way, but anyway. First off, shout out to my awful haircut in this video. I don't know why my dad cut my hair like that, but yeah, it's there. It's there in full effect. This video isn't too bad. The dialogue is like better than what we were doing a lot of time back then for the most part, but it's still kind of mid. It's not as bad, but it's still kind of mid. Some of the hits and like punches and stuff thrown in this video actually look pretty good. Like there was a sequence between James and Austin like near the end of the video where James like elbows him whatever to the ground. It looked really good. Some of the camera work in this video is really bad. Some of the jokes in here are bad, but some of them are okay. I think this video was like a step in the right direction as far as like us actually having a decent idea of like I guess comedy. I put that in quotation marks, comedy, but like most of the jokes aren't as cringe as they usually are. And I think the sequence of me and Sean in the doorway was kind of fun. Just some of the punches and like hits in this one, we actually like made it look semi-decent. And for the most part, the editing was getting better. But there were still some parts where it was like, I don't know what we're thinking. Like this video is bad, but it's not as bad as some of the stuff we've seen so far. Like of all like the older videos we made, this one's fine. It could have been a lot worse. So yeah, number 24, Nerf War prequel, The Vibrator Part 2. So at the number 23 spot, we have the very last little short we made for the Foam Fighters. It was Leave Sean Alone When He Plays Xbox. This is a very short video. There really isn't much to say about it. I think it's not that great. It's a lot of filler. It's kind of like a very plain idea. It's kind of sad as the last thing we made before the channel kind of died, but we did, and it's not much to say about it. Sean and James have a little scuffle, and that's about it. I guess not the worst thing ever, but compared to the other stuff we made, doesn't do much. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. There's not much to say about it. Number 23. So at the number 22 spot, we have a video that wasn't even meant for the channel originally. It's the Crucible Detroit parody. This was originally meant to be a school project that Sean and Josh and some friends did. The friends being people who were in the video that have only been seen once It's kind of hard to judge this video. One, because this is like, I think the only video where I had zero part of, was not involved with making this video in any kind of way, whether behind the camera or in it. And also, like I said, it was a school project, so it wasn't even like meant to be like a short for YouTube and stuff. We just threw it on there because why not? The best thing about it is the watermark that appears continuously throughout the video, that because we were trying to use a new editing software and we didn't know that when you render it out in the free version, it leaves that watermark right there in the middle. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, it's just hard to judge. I mean, it's fine. I guess it's not fine. It's still bad for what it's worth, but I guess compared to everything we've seen before, it's not as bad as that. So I don't have much to say because I wasn't involved, and I understand that like it was just meant for a school project, so the dialogue and everything might be fine, might not be fine. I don't know. I never read the book, so something I will say about this video is Justin, the like officer that comes in towards the end, not Sean, but the other one who comes towards the end and like does like the little spiel about like the president shank. I think he did a great job. He had me cracking up during it, so I will say he did a good job. That was funny. I had a good time with that. I think also Harley, the guy in the white shirt, for what it's worth, did a fine job. I think he was also pretty decent too. Yeah, I feel like the biggest flaw with this video, in my opinion, is just the continuity. Like, there will be a scene where someone's standing, and next scene they'll be just sitting, and stuff like that. Just little things to nitpick. But that's what all I gotta say. It's in here because it's on the channel. But yeah, number 22, The Crucible, Detroit parody. So next up for number 21, we have the interrogation short film video. Which, fun fact, there's two interrogation videos we made. One that's on TheFoamFighters. The other one was made on Chris's channel, Unbreakable Bros. And his one was, I think, a lot better. This one's just kind of whatever. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. Like, the acting is okay, I guess, but the audio just needs to be better, man. Some of the lines are just so, like, it's so quiet you can't hear really what we're saying. I don't know whose phone we recorded it on, but you can tell it's really made on like a phone, that the quality is very mid. But I guess of all the ones that we just made up on the fly, like I said, the Satan Special People one, the Leave Sean Alone Xbox one, and this one, like stuff like that, this one's one of the better ones. I don't think there's something inherently wrong with it. It's just very whatever. The plot's very thrown together, and the jokes are okay, you know? Again, I don't remember how we came up with the idea for this video. It just kind of happened, and we put it together, and there you go. So, yeah, it's very whatever. Number 21, interrogation, question mark, short film. So at number 20, we have A Beach House Haunting, the Foam Fighters remake. This is a remake of the idea of the first one we made, which was at the bottom of this list. And this one, compared to those two, this is a godsend. It's still bad, but compared to what we made before, this one at least was coherent enough to have okay ideas and concepts. Like, it still has that problem of having like, you know, long dragged out scenes, but they weren't nearly as bad as they were in the first one. At least there was something going on in them for the most part. The editing in this was okay. I like how the like ghost scenes, quote unquote, had like a blue filter over it, and when the ghost talked, there was at least like a filter to make it at least sound like a ghost. You know, at least attempt was made. You know what I mean? I can appreciate that. There are some decent ideas we had in here. Like, it's hard to make a horror short when you film it entirely during the day. But there are some scenes that were cool. Like, I like the video where, the scene where I have the GoPro in my hand and James knocks it out and it falls perfectly down the hallway. Because I had to blend those two scenes together, and I like that. Like, there were some okay ideas. The plot is still very, very cringe, of course, because it kind of does have that same, it kind of follows the same idea the first one has as far as the plot goes. At least an attempt was made, and I can appreciate it about this video. Like, it actually kind of held my attention for the most part throughout the whole thing, so I can appreciate that, because this video is over 20 minutes long, which is kind of egregious, but whatever. And fun fact, there was going to be, I don't know why we were so fixated on, well, not us, but fixated on the idea of doing videos in this, for this, like, story. Because there was going to be a part 2 to this video. Yeah, we were going to film a part 2, and it would have been horrible. I am so happy, I think all of us can agree who were part of it. We are so happy that video never got finished, because it would have been probably worse than what we have on here now. It would have been so bad. But anyway, getting sidetracked, this video is fine. I guess the biggest flaw of it is just like the cringy plot, and some of the scenes are dragged out, and trying to film a horror film during the day is kind of hard to do, but you know, it's whatever. Number 20, Beach House Haunting, the Foam Fighters remake. So at number 19, and I think y'all might be surprised I have this video so low, but it's going to be the Black Mask Episode 1 video, which is in the bad category. And the reason I put it in the bad category is because this video could have been so much better if we had just stopped and thought about how I wanted to start this series out, because it got better as it went along, but this video needed storyboarding so bad. The very beginning of this video is so just random and just like weird that it just, and just stuff like that, and just some of the dialogue is just really just made up and kind of mid. If this video had just been given a little bit more thought, it could have been really solid. And not everything about this video is like really bad. Like some of the fighting is okay, and the fight scene between me and Rob when he had the mask on outside was fine. There were some obvious scenes that should have had a retake. I mean, the scene where Sean kills Nick and Shane in the basement. Well, it's funny because of like how bad it is. If we're being objective, it's not good. Or the scene that really got me is when me and Sean were fighting Rob, and I get knocked to the ground, and like in the corner of the camera frame, you can see them fighting still, and then towards the end of the video, I just start to get up. Like, it should have been retaken. That 100% should have been retaken. Like, like God, dude. This video, like, could have been so much better. It could have been held up to the same, I guess, level of quality, and I say quality again in quotation marks, but like the rest of the series got better as it went along, and this video could have been up there too. But again, just like I said, the beginning, the intro was very random and not good. Some of the dialogue, you could tell, was just made up and improvised and didn't sound great. And I think when you take those things into consideration, it makes the video kind of bad. I would consider this a bad video, which is unfortunate because, like I said, this video could have been very solid. But again, we did the storyboard, should have, and this video paid the price for that. So yeah, number 19, therefore, is the Black Mask Episode 1. It's here. So at number 18, we are now starting the what we consider the okay tier. Videos that, you know, might have some glaring issues, but for the most part are pretty okay. They're not bad videos. And starting off this tier, we have 15 things we hate about first-person shooters. I kind of like that we made this kind of like our thing. Like, there wasn't really anybody else doing stuff like this yet, where it was like live action skits for stuff pertaining to video games. Like, this was before like RDC World stuff blew up and everything. So it was kind of cool. This became kind of like our shtick or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah. And this is also the very first video that debuted Andre on the channel, so that's cool. Shout out to that. And overall, this video has some pretty decent ideas. Like, for again 15 total like little skits we had to do, and I think most of them looked pretty good. Or not pretty good, were pretty good. There were some glaring ones that were bad, like the there was the one for like the kill streak where we filmed it outside when it was dark, so you can't really see any of the fight scene. We kind of just roll with it. That was pretty bad. You could tell we were still getting a grasp on like editing, but it was getting better. Like we were starting to like put it together as far as like putting the video together and everything like that. Like I said, this video has some pretty okay ideas. I think for the most part, some of them were pretty well done. Yeah, it could be a lot worse, but at the same time, those video calls also have been like a lot better. I think it was like 3 or 4 of the segments had just been redone and just thought out more, and it could have been a lot better, and it would have made the video as a whole actually pretty solid. But for the most part, not a bad video. I think for it being one of the earlier things we did, it actually came out pretty okay. So yeah, 15 things we hate about first-person shooters is at the number 18 spot. So at number 17, we have the Psycho Stone short film. This one had some, I say it's a lot, but you know, decent ideas, but also not great ideas. I think the biggest flaw with this video is the overall direction of it. Because this video, I believe, was for the most part scripted out, but I feel like as me and I guess you could say Sean, like the directors, quote unquote, we didn't really have a sense of how we wanted like it to go. It felt kind of, the video didn't feel fluent, you know what I mean? And some of the things the characters didn't make sense. And again, I'm not blaming like anybody in specific for how it came out. Like, if anything, it's on me, because I was the one who, I think it was me and Sean came up with the idea and like scripted it out and everything. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, because Andre and Joe are in this video also, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, they didn't do this part right. It's like I as a director didn't really tell them how like I want it to go. So, and they're not actors, so you know what I mean. They did good for what it was worth, but you know, some scenes needed a retake. You know what I mean. Some of it didn't look that great, and also this video is funny just because the character I'm playing is like just so over the top, and I meant it to be that way, like super ridiculous and absurd. So that I guess that kind of worked out because I wanted to be kind of stupid and ridiculous, and it kind of came out that way. So that's good. Some of the scenes could have been reshot, like I said before, and just some of the editing as far as like making the scenes feel more fluid could have been better also. There were some okay like ideas as far as the combat went. I think some of like the angles and the actual movements weren't too bad. Just could have been directed better, I feel like, and it's kind of fun even if it is for like the wrong reasons. Yeah, I think it's okay. There's like I said, some iffy parts to it, but overall it's fine. Takes the number 17 spot. It is Psycho Stone. So at number 16, we have the Player One short film. This video was kind of just another like little skit idea we kind of threw together. Peak of my afro, by the way. Shout out to it. I mean, what was I thinking? I don't know, but it's there. This video overall is the most okay and mid video I think we've ever done. Like, it's fine. There's nothing bad about it per se. It's just very whatever. The thing I remember most about this video was, so I put the video together as far as editing, and overall editing's alright. I think there's some certain spots that could have been edited better, but I uploaded it for everybody else to see and give me like critiques and everything, and they said, oh yeah, it's fine, put it up. So I did. I put it up, and then the next time y'all got together to talk about it, they were like, well, you could have done this, that, and whatever to it, and I'm like, that's why I uploaded the video to begin with, was to have y'all tell me that so I could adjust it. So that's the most I remember from this video. I was so upset, but it's all good though. It's all fun. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this video. It's okay. I think the fighting was fine. The comedy was kind of annoying and weird, but nothing like too bad. I think the toilet thing was kind of fun. I guess that's something new, I guess. And like I said, this video is not bad in any aspect, but it's also not very good in any aspect. Like I said, editing's fine, acting's fine, the action sequences are fine, like it's all fine, but nothing that makes it stand out. So that's all I got. It's Player One, and that's what it is. So at number 15, we have the Face Off reboot, Stone vs. Nick. The biggest thing I remember about this video as far as like a positive is the beginning with Chris like flailing around and doing his whole shtick or whatever. I couldn't keep it together. I kept laughing so hard like as we were filming it. We did so many retakes of it, but that to me, that was the funniest part of that whole video, was the beginning with him. He did such a good job. But this video is just okay, and it could have been great. The biggest problem with this video is the dialogue is super repetitive. It really needed to be scripted out beforehand. If you took a shot for every time that my character said something like, well, it seems, or like something of that nature, you'd be drunk. I repeated the lines I said already in the video earlier so many times as far as like, oh, it seems that this, that, and the other. Like, dude, I watched that video and I cringed so hard. I'm like, I couldn't think of anything else to say. Like, so garbage. And it sucks because the effects are solid, it looks good, shot well, Chris did a great job with that, and it's some fun, but like I said, the dialogue just holds it back, man. I couldn't stand the dialogue that we were saying. It just was so repetitive and just not well thought out. And some scenes need to be reshot. The scene where I like pull out the gun and Nick hits it out of my hand, and the fact that we kept that was so bad. It should have been retaken. I can't watch this video all the way through sometimes because I think about it and I'm like, this could have been so good, but because we just didn't reshoot certain scenes and just didn't think about the dialogue, it holds it back so bad, dude. Like, God. This video could have been so good. This video could easily be a top 5 video we ever made, but just those little things hold it back. And again, not blaming anybody. It's just like, you know what I mean, the overall, the way it was made. As far as like when we were making it, we just didn't think twice about it. We were like, yeah, let's keep that, fuck it, you know what I mean? We'll figure it out, and it could have been so much better. Because like I said, it looks great, the editing's good, it's filmed well, the effects are good, and it's fun. The video itself is pretty fun to watch. It's just those little things, man, hold it back. This could be a great video, but it's just okay. And at number 15 is the Face Off reboot, Stone and Nick. So at number 14, we have the Nerf FPS The Agent video, which is the first appearance of one of the SPS videos we made. And this video is it's okay. It's nothing horrible. It's just kind of like a one-off thing we did. The FPS videos I feel like was probably one of the best series of videos we made. We were actually going to make it into a full-fledged series. This video itself wasn't going to be part of like the full series we were going to make, but we still made it as like a a one-off thing because they were pretty easy to make and honestly pretty fun to film. I had a fun time making it. This video is okay. It's nothing horrible. It's also just kind of like it's just like in the middle. The one-off like kill comments were kind of cheesy, but it's kind of whatever. It kind of fits like with like the vibe of this video. The one glaring thing about this video that kind of bugs me is just the final fight feels kind of janky and thrown together. He kind of shows up, says, yeah, let's go fight, and they literally just walk to go fight each other. That's just so weird to me. It's so like odd. And the final fight itself was just kind of It could have been a lot better. This video is fine. It has some okay parts to it, but nothing. Again, it's kind of like with the player one video where just nothing stands out. Like it's cool, you know what I mean? Some fun kills, some fun, action shots, but just nothing that really makes it stand out. And I feel like the thing that really made the other Nerf FPS videos better was just because we were making this like underlying story kind of come together that I think would just add a little bit more to it. I'm not saying the story itself would have been like, oh, great and grand, but it just adds another element to the video to make it like a little more interesting. I'm not ragging on this video. This video is fine, you know what I mean? It has some weird aspects to it, but overall, it's okay. Nerf FPS The Agent is at number, what did I say, 14? Did I say 14? Yeah, 14. So for number 13, we have Nerf Wars The Black Mask Episode 2. The videos as they went with the series got progressively somewhat better, I guess you could say. Well, we'll find out. This video is actually pretty decent all the way through. The big like little fight scene towards the beginning was okay. It's a little janky just because of the GoPro, and I guess this is where I'm gonna like speak about this because I wanted to mention this. The GoPro was one of the hardest things to film with, and I say that because when you're holding that GoPro, like not for like an FPS scene, but like just holding it to like film, any little movement or whatever, you would hear the clicking and the clacking from it, and it's really apparent, especially in other videos. But this one too, dude. Like, just any little movement with it, you would hear like just the adjustment of it, and it was just so annoying. I mean, the shots themselves looked pretty good, like as far as the quality, but man, I hated filming that thing for like actual like set shots and like movements and everything. And I know that's not what it's originally meant for. Like, it's meant to be, you know what I mean, like a first-person thing. So I'm not like blaming, oh, GoPro, this product sucks or whatever. But it's just unfortunate that you couldn't really film with it as like a set camera without it making those noises. So yeah, it's for the most part was shot pretty well. I feel like the shots, especially with like the talking scene at the table, was filmed pretty good. And again, back to like the actual like fight scene itself, I think it had a pretty good idea of what it wanted to do with it. Just could have been done a little bit better. I feel like the sounds of the GoPro just irritate me so much, and there were some cool ideas we had, just it could have looked better. Nothing inherently wrong with this episode though. I think for the most part it came out pretty okay. Just some of the ideas, they were there, we didn't execute on them 100%. So yeah, episode 2 with Black Mask, it's here at number 13. So at number 12, we had the first appearance of one of the We Stole This Camera videos. It's the Gnarly Adventures of Dude Sick Nasty. I like this video, but the biggest thing about it is it had way more potential to be better. We kind of filmed it on the spot kind of thing. We kind of filmed it all in one day, and looking back on it, this video could have been so much more of like the idea we had. I think the idea of this video is so good. I think what we did with it in the video itself is pretty solid, but it could be so much better. It has so much potential to be great, but it's still solid for the most part. Like I said, it does feel somewhat rushed. There's nothing wrong per se with the video itself. I feel like it's edited pretty okay, and I feel like the comedy's pretty good, and I feel like Rob did a really good job with the character. I feel like he did solid with it. It's just, man, when I think about what this video could have been, it could have been the best. It could have been our best thing we ever made, but we just had to expand more on it, I guess, and we didn't really do that per se. But I still like the video. I think it's still pretty good and funny and solid. So yeah, for the most part, it's pretty good. There's not too much to say about it. The biggest aspect of it is I feel like it could have been way better. So that's the only thing kind of holding it back, is the actual potential it had. But yeah, number 12 is the Gnarly Adventures of Dude Sick Nasty. So at the number 11 spot, we had the Nerf Wars Black Mask Episode 6 video. Now, this video is kind of cheating because it wasn't actually uploaded during the Foam Fighters reign per se. It wasn't uploaded to about 2 years ago, I think, when I decided to edit together and stuff like that. But it was filmed during that time, so screw it. My list, I can do what I want. I'm putting it on here, and it's not too bad. It's shot well. The dialogue itself isn't too bad, but you could kind of tell we were making up the story as we went. Like, literally, the scene, I remember specifically the scene where Rob has, like, his big aha moment at the end and is, like, talking about the mask and everything. He literally made that up right there and then. Like, during the scene, my reactions to what he's saying are legitimately genuine. So we were definitely making up the story as we went. At this point, we vaguely knew what we were gonna do, but it wasn't enough to be like, oh yeah, we have this figured out now. The scenes from Andre were fun. The ones where he's like, it's like I took like inspiration of like a found footage type thing. I think this turned out actually really well, and I'm kind of glad that I did that at this point, because I know for a fact if this was uploaded during the Foam Fighters, they would not have looked nearly as decent as what I ended up making out of them. I know this because Sean put together like a rough edit of this episode back then, and it honestly wasn't that great. Yeah, you can always tell we're riffing off each other the entire time, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, it's shot fairly well. The dialogue is not too bad, but you can just tell at certain points we're just making shit up, and I feel like that was kind of paramount throughout most of this series, and it was kind of like its biggest hindrance was that whole thing. But overall, yeah, pretty solid video, honestly. I can watch this video and feel pretty good about it. It's a tad bit long, but nothing too egregious. I'm very curious what we would have ended up doing if we had continued this series, because after this was shot, we kind of put together a story, but it was still thrown together, so I'm very curious how it would have turned out. But yeah, number 11 is Nerf Wars The Black Mask Episode 6. And this video's gone on for long enough, so it's going to be it for the first part of this video. If you want to see the top 10 best Foam Fighter videos ever made, I made a part 2, or I'm going to make a part 2 video of this if I haven't already, or if it is uploaded, go check it out. But yeah, there's going to be a part 2. Go check it out to see what the best videos are and how I rank them. And with that being said, yeah, take care and all that jazz.